Hello student, today I'm going to discuss October November 2014 paper 3 spreadsheet part. Let me open the question paper. As usual, I made a duplicate copy in my desktop. You can check the question paper. So this is my question paper. Let me start from the beginning. That is spreadsheet part belongs to the first part of this question paper. Okay, now before doing any question, what you have to do, you have to read the statement which one is given by the examiner. Now this one just for download the files which one you will get in your computer in the exam time. You are going to prepare a spreadsheet for Tawara cycles which will be an invoice to send to a customer. The invoice has 5 items have been ordered. Okay, the contents of the invoice may change. Make sure your formula will work if the data change. Display all the currency value in dollar with 2 decimal places. So this is the main thing. All currency value should be dollar and 2 decimal place. Okay, let's start. Using suitable software package, question number 3. Using suitable software package, load the file n14 invoice.csv. Now one thing you have to keep in your mind, when you will do the spreadsheet part, that time if some file is given, definitely the file will be given in CSV format. First job is that you have to save it as a spreadsheet. That's why they mention save this file as a spreadsheet. Maybe in some question paper they will not mention that one, so you have to save it as a spreadsheet. Okay, now let me open that particular file, invoice.csv. so this is my file. Okay, now block whole thing, double click between 2 columns so all the data will be visible. Now you have to save it as a Excel workbook, right? File, save as. In the same folder you can save that thing, so it will be easily understood, understandable, like desktop, October November 2014, this one. Just give one any name first time, but in exam time you have to give according to the question paper, so it should be Excel workbook, not CSV. So this is your first job, that any CSV file you have to save it as a Excel workbook. Okay, now let's go for the next question. Merge the cell A1 to F1 so that become a single cell. So A1 to F1, so this A1 to F1 you have to merge it. So block this one, merge and center. You can click here, or you can do this way, right click, format cell, then alignment, and you can click merge cell. What this is the actual way you have to do that one. And if the text you want in the center position, then you have to go to horizontal, it should be center. But that for that thing you have to check the question paper. Merge the cell and become single cell. Format the text in the cell so that it is 16 point font. Format this cell so that it is center aligned. So they are asking for center aligned and white color 16 point. Okay, we can do this one. They are asking for center aligned. First done this one. Now next part of this question, what they are asking, format the text in the cell so that it is white 16 point serif font. Format this cell so that it is center aligned and has a dark gray background. Okay, you have to go to again format cell. So center one is done. Font color, font should be 16 point. Font color should be white, and fill, that means background color should be dark gray, right? Dark gray. Okay, that means this one. Then press OK. Done. Now we can go for the next question. In cell A9, replace the text candidate details with your name, center number, and candidate number. A9 candidate details here. You rub this one, write down your name. I'm writing my name. Our center number is SA139 and candidate number is 1234. By default I gave one number, but in the exact time you have to give your real center number and candidate number, right? Okay, now let's go for the next one. Oh, I miss this question. Format the cell F2 to F6 so that they are right aligned. F2 to F6. So F2 to F6, this one. It should be right aligned. So block this thing and make it right aligned. Done. Now this one also done. Question number 6 also done. In cell B11, question number 7. In cell B11, use a function to count the number of item codes. In this invoice B11, you have to count the number of item code. So where is my B11? Number of item code. So where is item code is given, first you have to find out that one. So these are the item codes. So in our eyes we can see that normally how many number is there, 5, right? How many item code is there, 5, but we cannot directly write down the write down 5 here. We have to write some formula. Now question is that you have to count how many number of item code is there. Now when you are going to count some number or value, first you have to check the data, how the data belongs to. Here if you check properly, the data belongs to, the item code belongs to number as well as text, that means alphanumeric data. So if you want to count this type of data, which one is belongs to alphanumeric, that means alphabet also number. So that time you have to use another one function that is called counter, number of item code in B11. So you have to write down your formula will be equal to counter, first bracket, what is the first cell address, B20, because item code first cell address is B20 is to B24, and close the bracket, enter. So number of item code is 5. Okay, next question. In cell B12, use a function to calculate the total number of units. So total number of units we have to in B12 use a function to calculate the total number of units. So B12 you have to find out the total number of units. So what you have to do, unit where is number of unit, this is number of units. They are asking total, that means you have to add. So what function you have to use, sum function, equal to sum, first bracket, what is the first cell address, unit belongs to E20, right? E20 is to E24 and press enter. So it is total number of unit is 31. Done. Now next question, copy the content of N14 type.csv into cell A32 B39. So you have to copy the contents from this file, you have to copy the content of N14 type file, and you have to copy that content in your current spreadsheet file, that means Excel file A32 B39 in this cell address. So first what you have to do, we have to open that particular file. What is the name of the file? N14 type. So N14 type we have to open, N14 type. So you have to copy whole thing, the 2 column, Ctrl C, and then what you have to do, you have to keep your cursor pointer into A30 and then paste it. Now check A30 to B39, all the data is copied. Done. Now next question. Use the cell A31 to B39 and create a name range called type. Now you have to define some name range called type. So this area you have to define with some name. So how to define? First you have to block A31 to B39, then right click, then select define name, and it should be what is the name in the question paper it is given, you have to check that one, type, T is capital. So you have to write down type, then press OK. Done. Now next question, show the evidence of the creation of the name range in your evidence document. So that means you have to take the screenshot of this one by writing here type according to the question paper. Just you have to take this screenshot, you know how to take the screenshot, print screen button, okay, and you have to crop that one, only this part is enough. My cursor pointer is moving on that part, okay. So Okay, now it is already defined, so that's why, see, it is written type here at the top. Did you see that? Okay, now next question, hide row 30 to 39. So they're asking to hide row 30 to 39. Now how to hide row? So you have to block 30 to 39 whole thing. So some students, what they do, they block like this way and they try to hide. You will not get any hide option. Did you see that? No hide option is given. If you right click, you will not get any hide option because your row is not selected properly. So you have to select row from over the row number. So like this, 30 to 39, right? They're asking for row 30 to 39. Yes, then you right click here and see hide option is visible. Now click hide option. Now whole thing is hidden. Please check one more time. So I'm hiding some data which one is given column wise, right? This data given in column wise. Okay, so right click hide. Just keep it in mind, it is given in column wise. Okay, now next question. Question number 12. In cell C20, use a formula to look up the type of cycle. Use the first character of the item code as a single lookup value. It's a very important questions. A little bit tough. If you try yourself, it will be easy. Just try one or two times. First, try to understand the question. In cell C20, use a formula to look up the type of the cycle. So you have to type look up the type of the cycle. Use the first character of the item code as a single lookup value and the name range type for the array. Now question is that there are a lot of lookup like VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, then normal lookup. This three type of lookup is there. Now question is that which lookup I will use. So I have to actually in the question paper what they are asking in cell C20 use a formula to look up the type of the cycle. So we have to find out the type of the cycle from where? From the type which one I defined, even I hided it, right? That is hidden, not deleted. Okay. Use the first character of the item code as a single lookup value. So when you are going to look up some value, that lookup value should be the first character of the item code, not the whole number, only the first character of the item code. So how to do that? So where I have to write the formula in cell C20. So here I have to find out the type of the cycle and this one will be the lookup value M. All M, R, M, H, H will be the lookup value. For this one it will be M. So there are three types of lookup. I told you that VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP and normal lookup. So when you will use VLOOKUP, what type of lookup I have to use here? Here I have to use VLOOKUP because the data which one I am going to collect, that is type, the type was given vertically here, the hidden part. Type was given vertically. Okay, the vertically where we hided something, right? So that thing was given vertically. So we have to collect the data from the hidden part. So it should be VLOOKUP. And if you click VLOOKUP here, and you will see that let me tell you one thing. If you are the first user for VLOOKUP, that time if you click FX, you will not get any VLOOKUP here. So that time what you have to do, you have to type VLOOKUP and then click go, then VLOOKUP will come. But usually I am using this laptop for solving the question paper, so my VLOOKUP will be available. But if you are first time doing this one, so you will not get any VLOOKUP here. So you have to type the VLOOKUP and then you have to click go. So then click VLOOKUP and lookup value will be the first character of the item code. So we have to read the first character. So how can we read the first character? We cannot write first character of the item code. So first item code belongs to B20. So we cannot write B20 because B20 is not the lookup value. Part of B20 is the lookup value. So which part? The first character. So first character belongs to which side? Left side. So we have to use left function here, equal to left, first bracket. What is the cell address? B20 comma 1. Okay, so that means here B20 is the cell address and 1 means first character from left side. This one will be the lookup value. And table array means from where we are going to find the value, from type. which one we defined the hidden part. See, the whole hidden part came. And column index, your data belongs to which column? That hidden part was 2 column, right? From second column we have to collect the data, so we have to press 2. And range lookup, for getting exact value you have to always give 0. Okay, why it is not working? Because here inverted comma came in this formula. Now it will work. Wait, yes, now it is working. By mistakenly inverted comma was given. Now we have to apply the formula in the remaining cell. See, for this one lookup value is left b20 comma 1, and for this one lookup value left b21 comma 1. Okay, so now next question. In cell D20, use a function to look up the unit cost of the cycle. Use the item code as a single lookup value and N14 cost for the array. Right? In D20, what you have to do, use a function to look up the unit cost of the cycle. Use the item code as a single lookup value. So you have to find out unit cost and what will from where you have to find out the unit cost, from N14 cost.csv. And which one will be lookup value? Use lookup value, use the item code will be the lookup value. Item code belongs to where? This one will be the lookup value. So first what you have to do, first you have to open that file, unit cost file, right? So we can close this one. Now N14 cost, so let me open N14 cost, this one, and see here also data given in vertical way, right? So you have to collect the data from here. So in that case what you will do, we have to go to our main table. This one is the in. Now here you have to use VLOOKUP. Lookup value will be the item code, and table array will be that table. We have to select that table. Except the heading, we have to select all the data up to 2 column. Okay, now column index will be 2, because my data belongs to, if I check this table, we are going to find out what? Unit cost, right? So cost is belongs to the second column of the selection part. So that's why I wrote 2, and for getting exact value we have to press 0. Okay, now unit cost came for this item code. Now apply the formula in the remaining cell by double clicking. Right, now next question, we can go for the next question. In cell F20, calculate the total costs for the item. F20 we have to find out the total cost for the item. So this is unit cost. Unit cost means cost of one product, right? Unit cost. And how many product is there? 5 unit here. So how can I find out the total item total? So it will be, so what is the price of 5 units? So it will be multiplication, right? So D20 into E20. So apply the formula in the remaining cell. Okay, done. This is the item total. Now next question. Next question is replicate the formula, enter in step 12, 13, 14 for each item. So replicate means apply the formula in the remaining cell. We already did that one. In cell, question number 16, in cell F26, use a function to calculate the sum of the item total column, which will be the invoice subtotal before any discount is applied. F26 use a function to calculate the sum of the item total. F26. So you have to find out the sum of the item total. So what will be the formula? Addition, right? You have to add it, equal to sum, first bracket. So what is the first cell? That is item total F20. F20 is to sorry, F20 is to F24 close the bracket. Now here discount amount. So what will be the discount amount? Next question, I think they are asking for the discount amount. Okay, in cell F27 use a formula to calculate the discount using subtotal. F27 use a formula to calculate the discount using subtotal, the number of items, and 3 discount rate A, B, C. So what you have to do here, discount amount. So you have to find out the discount amount. So what will be the discount amount? Multiply the subtotal by discount A if less than 5 units are sold. They mention here you can use subtotal, number of units, and the 3 discount rate. You can use these 3 things for writing the formula. So here how can we understand what type of formula we have to use? Multiple the subtotal by, so this is, you have to multiply with the subtotal every time. Discount if less than 5 units. Here if condition is given, lot of if condition is given, that means we have to use nested if. Okay, if condition means if condition have some format or syntax. Easy and simple format is that first you have to write down equal to if, and then you have to write down the condition. Then how you will compare? If the condition is true, then you have to write down the true statement first. Okay, so and otherwise it will be the false statement. That means discount A if less than 5 units are sold. So what you have to write? Equal to if. So what is the number of unit cell belongs to? Number of units is this one, B12. B12 what they said? Less than 5 units. Okay, less than 5 units are sold. B12 less than 5, then comma, discount, comma, this is my true statement, less than 5 comma discount A. Discount A means what is the cell address? B15, right? Then comma. So if it is not true, then we have to go for the second condition. So what is my second condition? My second condition, discount B if between 5 and 9 inclusive units are sold. Now here you have to be a little bit tricky. In the first condition only one criteria is given, like 5, but in the second condition it is given 2 criteria. If you see something like that in the question paper, that condition you will define in the formula at last. So what I will do, listen carefully. If you check some condition where it is defined more than one criteria, like in first condition only define one criteria, that is less than 5, but in the second condition it is defined more than one criteria, that is 5 and 19. In that case you will write this statement at last in the formula. But then we have, what you have to do then, we have to go for the C. So if discount C if 20 or more units are sold. So what you have to write? Equal to, again, if statement. If the first condition is not true, then it will go for the second condition. So if B12 C if 20 or more units are sold, B12 is greater than what they said, 20 or more units are sold, greater than equal to 20. That means if it is 20 or more than 20, that time it will be discount C. So what will my discount C? This one, this cell address. If you select this one, automatically cell address will come. So we wrote two condition, right? Now only another condition left, that is the second one. So what was the second one? Discount B if it is between 5 and 19. Now check. First time we check less than 5. and second time we check greater than 20. That means in this world we check all the data, which one is less than 5 and which one is more than 20. Did you check that one? In the first condition we check the data which one is less than 5. In the third condition we check the data. Why I use third condition? Because in the second condition two criteria is given. I told you earlier also that if it is given two criteria, we will not write that condition first. So we wrote first single criteria, first condition, that is which one is less than, we check less than 5 or not, and we check also all the data more than 20. That means infinitive number we check. Only which one we did not check? If it is 5 or 19. That means if condition is not finding any data is like that, according to the condition, whether B12 number unit is less than 5 or number of unit is more than 20, if his computer is not getting other one, that means automatically computer will print the second condition. What is the second condition? If it is between 5 and 19. See, I check all the data except between 5 and 19. I did not check. I check less than 5 in the first condition, less than 5 in the second condition. I checked more than 20 or equal to 20, but I did not check which data. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 5 to 19 I did not check. So that means if it is not true, then automatically it will print discount B, right? So now close this thing. Better. Yes, one bracket is missing here, that's why they are giving error. Now it is okay now, but before the formula, what they mention in the question paper, what you have to multiply with the subtotal. So what you have to write after the formula? Multiply with the subtotal. Subtotal means this one. Okay, then press enter. So this is your value 2598. Okay, now next question. In cell F28, use a formula to calculate the invoice total, which is subtotal less the discount amount. Okay, F28 subtotal less than less discount amount. So you have to subtract this one from this one. So what you have to write? Equal to, so what is the first cell address? Subtotal. So F26 minus F27, right? Yes. No need to give bracket. Enter. This is our value. Now next question, what they're asking: apply appropriate formatting to all the numeric cells. Now you have to apply appropriate formatting. That means you have to give 2 decimal place and dollar symbol, right? At the beginning of the question they mentioned here, see, display all the currency value in dollar with 2 decimal place. So in that case what you will do, 2 decimal place and dollar symbol. So discount amount, invoice total, so this will be the dollar item total. Okay, even the cost you block by pressing control button, because all currency things should be dollar symbol. Block, right click, format cell, number it should be currency, symbol should be dollar, any kind of dollar symbol you can give, any dollar symbol, 2 decimal place. Okay, done. Now see, everything is dollar symbol under 2 decimal place. Okay, one more thing, if something come hash, don't think there is a mistake. Actually the size of the column is small, that's why it is showing hash. Okay, next one. Question number 20. On the left in the header, enter the text invoice date followed by a space and then automated date. So left in the header. So what you have to do, click on insert, click on header. So left side of the header. Now see, it is showing in 2 page. So left side in the header, so this is the left side, 3 page it is showing. It is the left side of the header. If you check, you have to write down this one and automated date. So click current date. Before doing this one, you check your system date whether, because it is showing the system date, whether the system date is correct or not. So let's check next question. Okay, on the right in the header, enter the text invoice time followed by space and then automated time. Same thing. This is the left align, this is center, this is the right align, and here you have to show the current time. Oh, before that what you have to do, before that you have to type this one, invoice time, giving space and then current time. Okay, now if you click outside it will show you the time 9:05. It's morning 9:05, that's why it is showing like this. Okay, now my laptop also like 9:05. So this is done. Save and print the spreadsheet showing the formula. Okay, now this is important part because you have to print it. Save and print the spreadsheet showing the formula. Make sure that it is landscape orientation, row and column heading are displayed, and the printout fit on 2-page wide. You have to understand this one. So first you have to show the formula. Okay, now what you will do, if it is showing 2-page like that, you go to view and then normal, click on normal, it will show you like this. Okay, now you have to show the formula. So how to show the formula? So you have to go to view, you have to go to formula, not view, formula, and you have to click show formula. So you will get here one option, show formula. Now see, all the formula is visible. So what you will do, you see automatically a lot of space came. Did you see that? So how to reduce the space? Block whole thing, double click between 2 column. Now you make sure that all the formula is visible. Now see, all the formula is visible, right? Now it should not be like that. The formula should not be covered with other column. So you have to take care about this one. You have to be very attentive with this one. So all the formula is visible. See, all the formula is visible. Now what they are asking next part, it is landscape orientation. The page setup should be landscape. So page layout, orientation, landscape, done. Now next one, row and column heading are displayed and printout fit 2-page wide. Okay, and the content of all the cells except the hidden in step 21 are fully visible. Okay, hidden part should not be visible. So file, print. Okay, now first you have to click on page setup, because here they mention row and column heading are displayed, printout fit 2-page wide. So wide by 2-page, and header footer, click on header, click on sheet and click here row and column heading and grid line also, then press OK. Now see, it is one of 1 page, all the formula is visible, but they are asking 2-page wide. So wide by fit on 1 page, wide by 2 page, right? So you will increase little bit, then it will go 2 page, 100%. Now 1 of 2, did you see that? So this is second part of this. Okay, done. Now you can print it, but before printing, one thing you should make sure that your name sentence number is given properly, is it visible properly. But see, in the footer, in the question paper they did not ask to give in the footer, but you will give, because my examiner can your name is already here in the middle of the question paper, middle of the data. See here, it is given my name somewhere here in this part. If you check my cursor pointer, my name is given, but whatever, examiner will not check the internal part, even that header does not have your name. So what you will go, again go to page setup, then header footer, click on custom footer, and you will write down your name here, first name, then middle one, center number SA139, and candidate number, my by default candidate number is 1234. Okay, and okay, now you see your footer also, with your information, your footer came. Okay, now you can just click print, that's all for this one. for this question. Now next one, question number 22. Print invoice showing the value. Make sure the printout fit on a single product page. Now here they're just opposite, not formula. They're asking value. So what you have to do first? First you have to go to formula, again click show formula, then it will come like a value. Now block whole thing, double click between two column, and it should be portrait page. Page layout, orientation, it should be portrait, not landscape like earlier one. Now see, all the data is not visible. Did you see that? In one page, this is the line of the page. So it is not visible in the first page. So what you will do, what they are asking, orientation should be landscape, single page, single portrait page. The content of all the set except the hidden institute are fully visible. Now here they did not ask for the column and row heading. So what you can do, just click on file, print. See, all the data is not here. In that case, what you will do, you will go to page setup, and instead of 100%, and it should not be 2, it should be 1. Instead of 100%, give it 90%. Now check, all the data is visible, right? If I check my file, this is my last data 14722. So what I will do, file, print. Now see, 14722 done. So it is single portrait page. Finish. Now next question, we can go for the next question. Next question is easy, you can do that one easily yourself. So I'm not going to discuss, just I'm telling you how to do. The customer has changed one item in the order. Instead of 5 roadster, three cycles, they now require 10. Update the invoice. Now invoice file you have to update, right? So instead of what, okay, the customer has changed on item in order to, instead of 5 register 3 cycle. Okay, item somewhere written 5, right? Here item roadster, this one roadster, this 3, this is the item. So the question paper is, check the question paper. The customer has changed one item in the order. Instead of 5 roadster, 3 cycle. Okay, now instead of 5 roadster, 5 3 cycle, now require 10. Update the invoice. Customer has changed the item in the order. Instead of 5 roadster, 3 cycle, now required 5 roadster, 3 cycle, now required, check the question paper, now required 10. Update the invoice. Okay, invoice total number, this is the invoice total. Okay, they need here 10 actually. Roadster, this one, right? Here unit will be 10, number of unit. Now automatically invoice will update it. Did you see that? When you type 10, automatically invoice updated, right? Now this thing they are asking for. After that, save and print the invoice showing the value. Now you have to just print it showing the value. Change the discount percentage rate to A 7%, B 12%. This thing you can do yourself. So that's all. Thank you. If you have any doubt, you can ask me in the class.